So today, guys, I'm going to discuss some important compounds. There are literally hundreds of them, trust me. I'm going to just discuss first few five, let's say, that can help those people who cannot tolerate retinol or cannot tolerate acids or cannot really, tolerate anything really harsh. A lot of people cannot touch retinol because they'll have burning, they'll have peeling, they'll have irritation. They just cannot touch retinol. So my job is that if I think you need something, for instance, if you need retinol and you're not able to tolerate it, then I just cannot leave it at that. I need to research and find out ingredients that me and my labs can hopefully make into creams or topicals that are going to give you that alternate. Like I've mentioned many times before, this is an unfortunate thing in cosmetic science, is that a lot of the cosmetic ingredients are not going to be backed by really, really strong studies. So peer-reviewed studies, large center studies, placebo-controlled studies, they're just not going to have that because they're not a drug. So number one, a cosmetic is not a drug. Hence, it does not warrant that level of observation or studies. That is unfortunately the reality in the cosmetic industry. So then you have people like me. So then the labs and those engineering companies will hire people like me who are actually going to sit down, look at the science, look at the anatomy, the physiology, the biochemistry. And we are going to try the best alternates. We're going to try to find alternates that can hopefully help you with photo-damaged, hyperpigmented, aging skin, but without the side effects. So that is one of the things that I do. So now, guys, I'm going to mention those few important ingredients that I really like. And I really hope that they can get into really big studies. We have a few studies, quite a few studies have been done on some of the compounds that I'm going to mention. Some of them don't have a lot of studies, but they're very promising because the science is very interesting. And so we hope for that. So then you guys can have an alternate to retinol. I do have a couple of interesting products coming out that are retinol alternates. Hopefully as we release them, I'll share them with you. But right now, let's talk about these few beautiful, interesting compounds that have a lot of hope. And I'm hopeful that they can be included in everyday cosmetic science. So the first one I'm going to talk about is cynectin. So cynectin, also known as N to the power of 6 furyladenine. These are very interesting plant compounds. And these plant compounds actually, they're not retinol analogs, so they're not going to act on the retinol receptor, but they will function like retinol. So they're going to increase the epidermal turnover. They will actually reduce hyperpigmentation. So they're going to act on the tyrosinase enzyme that is going to help in reducing the pigmentations. They're going to also help with fine lines. So they have a pro-collagen activity. They'll help in building up the collagen, stimulating collagen. All of these actions, the cynectin group of chemicals is going to do. When formulated topically, the beautiful thing is that these cynectin compounds, they don't have the side effects that retinol does. So there's no peeling, there's no burning, there's no irritation, but it does show quite a bit of benefit. So that is something very interesting to look out for. It's a non-prescription. It's available as an over-the-counter cream. And I think that if you are not able to tolerate retinol, if you have skin of color or if you have sensitive skin, this is something that you need to try out. It's known as Kynarase. It's a very interesting topical, but it's based on quite a bit of science. Now you're going to ask me that, Dr.A, how are these cynectins working? Well, these cynectins are very interesting compounds because they have a DNA repairing action. So if your DNA is not doing too well and the cell is, not very healthy, it's going to go directly act on the DNA. It's going to repair the DNA. So it's going to repair it, smooth it out. And in effect, it's actually going to make your skin cells healthy and able to regenerate. So it's enabling your skin cells to regenerate. So this is one very interesting evidence-backed ingredient to look out for, and that's Kynarase. There is one company that sells this product, Kynarase. It's non-prescription. You can just buy it over the counter, and it's something that you need to try if you are not able to tolerate retinol. Next, I'm going to talk about something that I absolutely love. It was part of my research. Those are copper peptides. I did a whole chapter on it. I absolutely love copper peptides. And then you'll ask me why? Because copper is the third most abundant element found in your body. Every cell in your body, including your brain cells, your skin cells, all your cells contain copper. Copper is such an important element that it is part of the Krebs cycle. It's part of the PPP pathway respiration cycle. It's actually one of the most important elements that is allowing enzymes in your body to work. So it's allowing your cells to breathe, to live. Copper peptides are very, very interesting compounds because they're also allowing your cells to heal. And what do we do biochemically? Biochemically, we'll take copper and we'll attach it to a peptide. So histidine, alanine, we'll take any peptide we like, we'll attach the copper to it. What this is going to do is going to create an amazing compound, an amazing chemical. This is going to become a signaling chemical. So now the peptide is going to talk to your skin cells and the copper is going to act as a catalyst. So this is actually going to result in wound healing. Copper peptide creams are interesting. I wish that there would be even more studies on it, but there are a lot of wound healing studies on copper peptides and copper in particular. So these are actually going to help you regenerate your skin, heal your skin in a very non-invasive manner. The most interesting studies with copper peptides has been done in hair transplant patients. So people who have undergone hair transplantation, they used for months, they used the copper peptide creams, and this prevented the hair transplant, the grafts from falling out. So the transplanted hair did not fall out. There was a growth of new hair. So this is, copper peptides are number one for wound healing, but also for hair regrowth and hair strength and vitality. So this is another thing to look out for. So for those of you who want to kind of look for retinol alternates, look out for creams. I'm going to mention a few that do contain copper peptides. They were part of my research, and I really, really do love these compounds because of their wound healing ability. Then we come to the third most interesting compound that can be functioning as a replacement for retinol, let's say. Then that can be epidermal growth factors. These are very, very interesting. Epidermal growth factors are basically what they're doing is regenerating your cells. So they're increasing the cellular turnover. They're helping in fibroblast differentiation, collagen production. All of these things are happening with epidermal growth factors. You already have them in your body. But externally, topically, how can we take epidermal growth factors and apply them to cosmetics? Now, epidermal growth factors are found in everything. They're found in animals and plants and sea life, marine life. Anything that is going to grow and die and live will contain growth factors, because growth factors are responsible for allowing your cells to grow. So we can actually extract them from plants and, of course, from animal sources. Actually, growth factors are used in medicine. So they're used for healing diabetic ulcers. I'm going to just mention this gel here. This is a gel, and it's used for treating diabetic ulcers. It's part of the protocol. So even in dermatology, we use it for treating ulcers and open wounds and burns and things like that. But this is prescription only. Now, there are some epidermal growth factor creams that are available. I'm going to mention one or two of them. I'm just going to mention this one. So Revive is like a really popular brand, very expensive brand, but they do claim that they contain a high percentage of growth factors. I do sometimes use growth factors in my creams. I do love adding them in my night moisturizing creams, because even though we don't have a huge number of studies, but those studies that do exist, especially medical studies, so those studies for something and you don't want to use retinol, so a cream or a topical containing epidermal growth factors is something else to look out for. Now, the fourth interesting one that I really personally love is Alpine Rose. Now, Alpine Rose is a very special breed of roses. They're very hardy. They live on top of the mountains. They're resistant to weather, to ultraviolet radiation. They have amazing, amazing chemistry. The chemistry is complex. They're able to withstand death and a lot of, pollution that is hitting them. So they are really living in high altitude. So those rose extracts, alpine rose extract has been shown to really help in the regeneration of your skin. So that is another interesting thing to look out for. There are a few creams, they're pretty expensive, and they do contain alpine rose extract. Once again, there's a dearth of studies, but hopefully the studies will happen when they do. But the few studies that have been done, they do show good efficacy. So this is an alpine rose extract. Then you'll ask me that, Dr. A, how is this alpine rose working? Because everybody talks about rose, but what is alpine rose? Well, alpine rose extract, first of all, is a pure extract. It's bioengineered, so you just don't take a rose and you start putting on your skin. This is a very complex bioengineered product. We take the roses from the Swiss Alps, we extract the chemicals found in them, and they are part of a science known as a very new science known as senolytic science. What this science is that continuously in your body, your cells are living and multiplying, and then they're dying. Then you have cells in between. So you have those cells that are in between living and death. So they're about to die. Now, those cells that are zombie cells, they're kind of dead, but they're not dead. So they're kind of in stasis. They release very harmful toxins. They release metabolites that are going to damage the surrounding cells. Unfortunately, they just stay there and they just keep on releasing those free radicals and those harmful chemicals. How do we get rid of them? So this is where senolytic science comes in. We are going to transition that concept into cosmetics. And what we're going to try to do is topically take certain compounds that have very high antioxidant activity or other DNA repairing activity, and they're going to actually kill those zombie cells. This is where alpine rose extract comes in. So see this diagram here. So those are the healthy cells and these are the zombie cells, the cells that are dead, but they have not disintegrated. So they're just there and they're just releasing toxic chemicals. What alpine rose extract will do that over a period of months and months and weeks and months, it will slowly go and send a signal to those zombie cells, and those zombie cells are going to disintegrate and die off. So what it's doing, it's clearing up your skin. It's clearing up your skin of the zombie, of those cells that are dead, but they're still releasing chemicals, harmful chemicals. So then you'll ask me that, what is this alpine rose doing? Well, this alpine rose is actually acting like a vacuum cleaner. It's just going to go and signal to those zombie cells, the ones that are not doing you any good. So they're just dead, just releasing chemicals, harmful chemicals, and not helping anybody. Those alpine rose extracts are going to go signal to those dead cells, and those dead cells are going to just disintegrate and they'll die off. What this means is that it's going to allow your healthy cells to grow and replicate in a very good, healthy environment without those zombie cells all over the place. This is it's a beautiful science. It's a senolytic science, and I'm very hopeful that hopefully we'll see more and more senolytic compounds coming out. One of them is alpine rose. I definitely am going to include alpine rose in my next formulation. I am really, really looking forward to that. In fact, my next night cream that I want to create, I do want to put in alpine rose, because I think that there's a lot of hope for those people who cannot tolerate so many other acids and compounds and ascorbic acids. They actually will be given a chance to try something new out, and it will work because it has quite a bit of science behind it. The last group of compounds I'm going to mention is very interesting, and all of you who are baking will find this very fascinating, that this advanced compound known as beta-glucan is derived from baker's yeast, believe it or not. So baker's yeast contains a compound known as beta-glucan. This beta-glucan, please look at this chart below, contains amazing substances that are going to prevent the influx of calcium. That means it will help dry, irritated, sensitive skin. Photo-aged or aging skin becomes very dry and sensitive. So this is another interesting way that you can use these new compounds. So this beta-glucan will actually soothe sensitive skin, soothe irritation, soothe itching. It's going to help you recover from photo damage. It's a UV protective effect. It's a moisturizing effect. It has multiple effects. So this is another evidence-based compound that. So a lot of you who are taking retinols and who are experiencing the sensitivity that comes with retinol, look out for products containing beta-glucan or baker's yeast, because beta-glucan will actually help you in dealing with retinol sensitivity, acid sensitivity. Any active ingredient or any medication, even antibiotics that you're going to put on your skin, if it's going to result in itching and irritation, beta-glucan is really going to help you, because it has shown to reduce itching, and it has a very soothing and moisturizing effect and a photoprotective effect. So look out for this compound in your creams. Look at the ingredient list and you will see the name of this cream in the INKI list, known as beta-glucan. Take care, guys, and see you next time with another fascinating topic into research, development, skincare, dermatology, everything to do with science and skin. So see you next time. Please, all of you, stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed these novel new compounds.